and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're going to accept Haiku Man's... Yeah, I forgot his name already. Yeah, we're going to go trial for this dude. Let's go. Oh, I don't like that it didn't take me to the prison immediately. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison. Yeah, I know. Let's hail a car... Oh. What's the matter? It looks like there's something going on over there in front of the Gyarados house. Yes? He did it. Mm-hmm. You're lovely, but you did it. I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Who are you calling an old man, you rum-looking nimini-bimini? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Who's this Horatio fella, eh? What do you want about? Excuse me. Eh? What the? Who are you now? I'm sorry. It looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see. Eh? A lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I studied English law. Fine. I'll be on me way for today, but you mark my words. This ain't over yet. Get thee to a nunnery. Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you? These are our witnesses, huh? I think so. I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you. What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here, in the Gyarados residence? Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. Mr. Gyarados mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Do you know what happened to the lodger who lives on the first floor? Oh yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy a polemist in my battle of words. Ne'er could there be. Huh? Battle, you say? Who is stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night. Okay. I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. So, fair maiden. So, good gentleman. I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. Okay. I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room. Yeah, it seems he's unaware what happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Gyarados house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go find a carriage. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return. Sure, so let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting ours are over. That little thing probably stopped us, huh? Oh no, you're so good. Hey, dude. If you could stop fidgeting. Oh, it's you. You're here. You came. Look, I'm sitting Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched. We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh, no, think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing anybody's. So let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There is nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand... Nope! Hey, it's Shelms! Okay, I really thought it was Zeke. I really thought it was Zeke's coming to, like, mock us or something. It is the friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. Oh yes, alright, it's you. The miserable rotten spy! Sherlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything per se. Save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is a superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Ha, you! How dare you, Sherlock Sholmes! Huh? I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to the Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life has been damned! Oh, what are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean? And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. Oh, oops. Wait, what? Cursed is wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. Huh? I mean, can we just accept you? Don't worry, we got it. Wait, so Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by that? What you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no, why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Sure. You don't mean the trial is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please tell me, summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly! Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr. McGill did. What? What? Ah, I'm impressed, Mrs. Sato. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes? Surely it can't be that having failed to have accused... Surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zieks killed the man himself? Oh no, he couldn't have, surely. We all were thinking it though, right? You have some wonderful notions. Huh? The man isn't a mass murderer, he's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Oh, of course he is, and why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What? Yeah, no, give us that. What? Van Zieks is quite an exceptional man. However, in London's court of law, exceptional doesn't equate to winning every case without exception. Ah, so that's good. Sasaki-san looks like he's gonna try to... We should probably not have this conversation in front of him, really. Let me just move over, like, 3 cells. As you are no doubt aware, the British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It's an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Yeah. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal. Contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury, which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, a prosecution could fail. But it means the wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly it is from time to time, my dear madam. It's simply the reality of the situation. And that's alright? However, those indicted by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. Though the abjudication. I know that's how you say it, I think, but I can't say it. Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom. Within months, they all disappear. It is most striking. Disappear? But how? Ah, by all manners of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled in our passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. Look, dude, just go back to Japan. Just don't go away, but the boat might sink. Just try your best and go back to Japan. I knew it. I'm a dead Jodo, done for, doomed. Again, we probably should have told him this. When you said a cursed lodgings before, and I know you're just really worried about your death right now, you're referring to your room at Mr. Gyarados' house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to know strange feelings in myself. Well, that didn't take long. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I had to move a number of times, most recently to that room in Briar Road a week ago now. Yeah, so why'd you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap, I have so little money. It appealed to me straight away. Of course I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed. Oops." He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late. So I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it. If not, don't mention it in the first place." Yeah, so well said. But it was true. It was all true. You mean the room really is cursed, then? Ever since I moved to that windowless hellhole. My sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I wake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Well, I mean, look, we're on your side, dude. Kind of. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all? To believe? Yeah, to believe. Look, I'm taking your trial, okay? Got nothing else better to do. Mr. Sholmes? Ah, me, Miss Naruhodo, pray. What can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Buria, if you recall. The Buria. Ah, that case. The one with the snake. Oh, sure. At the time, I was a suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. What I want to know is why. Why did you believe in me? I see, yes, you mean... because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room? Sure. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said, I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little bit, since you kept putting me in handcuffs. Unless it was for other reasons. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing you, nor in that which you were telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned. Wait, but I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning, whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. Is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right. Look what's it, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Whether or not I can believe in myself? Like Kazuma believed in me. You have a voice that I don't remember because you're dead. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. You're so right, Kazuma. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There's a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join? Yes. Oh yeah, we'll defend you too, but date. You want to be that way. Keep forgetting I put the opposite direction. He asked me on a date. I don't even like trout. Oh dear, it's never enough time, is there? Bro, I'm defending you. Mr. Natsume? If you like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in? The defendant, justice, or the truth? How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I decided I had to believe in myself above all, to trust my instincts. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that to you, in court. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I'll fight for your innocence until the bitter end with every weapon available to me. So I hope you permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It'd be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was in many ways made up from the outset. Oh, duh. Again, what else am I gonna do? You really need the events of today to fully realize it. Yeah, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Mrs. Otto? Yes. Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Again, what are you gonna go do? Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. She's so cute. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily in my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one, he's all alone, so it's my job to help him, to fight in his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength that I can muster. Oh my god, do we just have a receipt for evidence? Oh my god, all we have is a map and a receipt. No, sorry, you didn't do it, and I got the receipt to prove it. Well, I never expected this. Who would have thought we'd be back here again so soon? We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible. Oh, duh, but... yeah. For the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research seems a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning. I don't know who this is. Ah, okay. Oh, dude, you've been crying all night. Your eyes are red, dude. Oh, Mr. Natsume, good morning. Oh, dear. Are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. And our liver catches a worm, as they say here in Britain. Yeah, I heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately down to make a burly, so I was so worried I couldn't catch a wing. Oh, I've done that so many times, I get you. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally? Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm 2, terrified, 2, tremble. You're trembling a lot. Really? Because I can feel the tremors on the floor. I can't do this, I can't take it. Although, welcome to Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yeah? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people there. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know where that might be, Mrs. Sato? I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, I have no idea. So that all-knowing look in your face is just coincidence then, huh? Don't hide the truth of me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Oh, Lord Van Zeeks? Is that right, Mrs. Sato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one. Aw, damn it. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yeah, Inspector Gregson told something similar, didn't he? I believe the appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. Well, we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is they were back in the Bailey so soon? For what appears to be mundane murder. Just a regular Monday murder. I know this is mundane. That was the question the papers were asking, and they were all speculating various answers. Mundane! Mundane! It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us. Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume. But that is how the papers are describing it. Well, I mean, it can't say murder, right? Because the person's still alive? Just in, like, in a coma? Well, let's not forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of the infamous prosecutors caught people's attention. There's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Yes, I agree. Welcome, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you! Huh? Me? I mean, I guess that's true, but no one knew, right? Both times it was you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper! I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your common bad luck. Sure, thanks. Thanks, Sato. This is just my luck. Why must be represented by a man with such frail fortune? Excuse me. Excuse me. I can just not defend you, sir, if you want. But at least lucky lawyer alive. Let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yeah, it's true. I'm just a student new to London, with little in the way of experience or skills or luck. But I promise you, I'll fight for your corner until the bitter end. And I'll believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we'll always be by your side. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Miss Minkotapa Esquire. I'm in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness as long as I live. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way to the courtroom at once. Okay then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Yes! This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. My second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Here we go. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare the court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. I really want him to just be like upside down, like hanging like a bat, like that. And he just flutters down when it comes to trial time. Wait, what? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur. Yeah, so? Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to help the accused, I suppose. Typical arrogance. See, I know Nippon and Nipponese is Japan, Japanese, and Japanese, but the way he says it, I feel like it's wrong, so that's why I don't say it when he says it, but I'll say it when, like, Soseki says it. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Suzuki-san. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. I just realized this little wine thing has a little, like a Reaper on it too. Very true. And a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate, violent end. Wait, hold on. What was her name? Joan? Was Joan on the jury? Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in a fine fettle. That does not feel like an unbiased jury if Joan's there. No offense, Joan. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? No. This is rigged beyond all belief. So we have fair play. You never know when you might be down your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. Oh, well, not me. Well, you see, what you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. I'm afraid to say, I think it's quite possible that the mustache foreigner did the deed. Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Yeah, sorry, didn't quite catch that. Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zix. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oaths they are. Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese. Oh man, that seems worse. Come on, let's go. Oh, what the heck? Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. I mean, I know this is back then, but, my jury's a little racist. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice here in this great chamber. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court inspector? Aww. The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by name of Olive Green.
I beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be?
Yeah, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. Huh? So they even know who she is for sure?
Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger?
Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be for murder. Pray elaborate on the details, Inspector.
Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. And not long since stops notice as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But, being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is a case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please.
What of the weapon that was used?
Sir, I have that right here. It was removed from the victim's back.
Ow. That big thing is hard to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even the scraggly Kisaseki-san, I suppose.
A common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. Jackknife has been entered into the court record. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume?
From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she was the poor sinner herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord.
I see. Well, if that's the case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim?
I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
Yes? Why do we interrupt that? If theft and grievance have been ruled out as a motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume have had for stabbing the young woman? That's not his job. Nope, this is bad. Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Yeah, shut up, Ryunosuke.
Oh my god, he's like a cat. I love it.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle in the public gallery. But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. Huh? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should go beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the student.
Yes, sir.
As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattered his belongings all over the floor. Those being number old books he had just bought, he was on his way home from a bookshop. It seems it was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to. We found the bloke to arrest him.
Old books, you say?
Yeah, my lord. We have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident.
Ah, yes, you can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photograph print as evidence, please, Inspector.
Oh, good. I'm glad we have more evidence now. Nope, I'm reading that. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well... Forgive me, Lord Van Six. But the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it.
What are you doing, Mrs. Otho? Do go on.
Mr. Natsume admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, now that you mention it, when we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us that it all had happened. A green overcoat?
Well, that's exactly what the woman in the print is wearing.
Oh my! Photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next? The defendant has done nothing more than admit that he fled from the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back.
There was nobody else there at the time. Just the two of them, the victim and the accused, and the two witnesses you're going to call to the stand.
So,
In other words, there's nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes.
Huh? It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. Yeah, sure, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's only a chance. As I said, it was around 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred. It was unusually light fog. Unusually light, hey? A light fog? Well, light for London. You see the opposite side. You can see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther, though. That's light? Around these parts, yeah. Not something I expected a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course. I read that London's famous for its fog. But in my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance.
How quaint.
Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate. Oh, okay. At this time of the year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand in the end of your arm. Indeed. The other day I was nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling. Since that's said, I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen.
However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual.
A fact no doubt lamented by the accused. Visibility was reasonably good, no one else was the victim and the accused.
Hold it!
How are you able to state that without any certainty?
Quite simply, my learned friend. Because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us.
Oh yeah, Inspector Grayson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he?
That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That's correct, ma'am. Then we must hear their testimony.
The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary.
Wait, huh? At 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of the winter? It would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen.
I'm unaware of the situation in your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, the roads are illuminated by the nights by gas street lights.
Ah.
The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime.
Quite. Here in London for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. So that means we'd hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to.
It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector.
Hold it!
From behind, you say?
That's right, as you can see from this print.
Yes, quite so, Inspector. The hand of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. You can say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in critical condition. Comatose, no less.
I'm afraid so, my lord, yes. She's been treated at Bart's.
I was hopeful that she'd come around before the trial started so I could take statement, but it wasn't to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events.
Luck is on your client's side, it seems.
On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky. Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those wide, disturbing eyes, I'm afraid. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor.
Hold it!
Mr. Natsume's belongings? I think you'll find all the photographic print of the crime scene. Yes, the 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Second-hand books, as they were. Irreparably damaged after following the snow, of course. Oh, we checked the receipt. We'll see if he bought the 3 books or not. The accused could have easily carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example. He's very clever, isn't he? What do you mean? He made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full of his books. He managed to close the one avenue of escape he might have had before he knew it was there. You mean to say the defendant was... Okay, hold on. Damn, we bought 3 books. You mean to say the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife in the woman's back? Must be what happened, my lord. Objection, speculation? Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems.
Hold it!
The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis. Yeah, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. The books room was stacked to the floor to the ceiling with those musty old books. Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Well, if I must. I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. The closest second-hand bookshop to the accused lodging is this place here, Bourbon Books. Okay, hold on. Is the place Bourbon Books? Court record. Got him, it's your books. Objection! A little place in the corner of Briar Road and Mersham Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in the lodgings on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end. Which means he doesn't take a chance to work out the route he'll take it home. Nope, I object. Something like this. Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop. Mr. Naruhodo, I think what the inspector has told us could turn out to be of vital importance. Okay. I agree. Most important point that the inspector just made being the bookshop's name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? What? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance. Maybe? Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes, it's a very important clue. Very well then, not that I can see where it being of any great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, sir, my lord, whatever you say. Could this man be any more sardonic? And we're going to object that statement with a receipt. Present. If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson? What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. This is the receipt we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and the details of the purchase of 3 second-hand books. And you found that in the accused's rooms, did you? Uh-huh. Well, the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books. Your Books? Y-O-R-E, I presume? Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books in a second-hand shop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. Eh? What? Inspector, do you know this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection!
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
No, it makes his route home different. I disagree. I mean, after all,
I have the street map here if I might be of some help.
Oh yeah, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he almost certainly passed the place where Mr. Green was attacked, or Miss Green was attacked. However, if you take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out he wouldn't have passed that location at all.
Could it be true? My, it rather depends on what this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility.
Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely, it could be right. Absolutely, speculation is a possibility. Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment? Why should it be right next to Bourbon? Why should it be closer?
Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out that Your Books is just here. Yep. It doesn't change too much. Is just here on the next corner of the Meerschaum Street going east.
Well, that was on my defense. There you have it. You can clearly see now. Oh.
Oh, my learned friend is obviously in training to be a clown. The way he regales us with such witticisms. To your future career in the circus.
You put that glass down now, I'll put it down for you. Oh, Suzato, get in mean, I like it.
I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused is coming home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books, there's no doubt he would still have passed the place where the victim was stabbed.
Well, not 100%. He could have gone down Calabash instead. Yes, thank you, Inspector.
Ryunosuke, come on. Allow me to reiterate for my learned friend, if somewhat slow friend. Wherever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Nah. As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try.
Yeah, what'd you say? I had enough of this now. Beg your pardon, terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating all that? Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't give up.
What do you mean?
If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty.
Oh, she's right.
We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully.
They claim Sasaki-san may have passed the location of the incident on his way home from Your Books, but... I clicked raise before noticing. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed. Explain yourself, counsel? Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean by on this map. It's a 50-50 chance he took that route. When returning from Your Books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. If the defendant used the streets, look what happens. He raised back in his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errands, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way round. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? The answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words,
that's not true.
The accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings, and is the obvious perpetrator in this crime.
Objection!
But, yes, I've got it. I'm assuming we asked the man himself. Asked Mr. Natsume which route he took home.
I've already informed the court of the accused's response to such a questioning. He claims he has no recollection. That's right. As I said, the bullock seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or what route he took home. I don't... Oh, come on, Mr. Natsume! Just lie to me. I thank you, my friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of this court's time by wandering aimlessly around the subject. Pray, what say you insightful jurors?
No leading the jury. Wait, but even if that is the case, the defense still... Who said hold it?
God damn you, Fairplay.
I agree with Lord Venzeeks. Wholeheartedly and in every way.
Huh? I don't believe it. Does this mean...
Members of the jury are completely convinced now. Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
You jerks! It would appear the judge's leaning is unanimous.
Want to do the thing again, please? To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably. Mr. Naruhodo. No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to the balance of the skills in the other way. I turn this around. Somehow. Those are the eyes of a quarry not yet willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago. Call it antiquated if you will. But it's also anything I can do whenever you just say, hey jury, say they're guilty, and they're like, yeah, guilty. Like, it's cheating. But the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses.
Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with a summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that whippersnapper and his uncles? Refusal to throw in his alley. Very well then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. And after that, we'll wrap up the episode.
The jurors' contentions. Oh, for pity's sake, the little oddity already admitted himself, didn't he? If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why, it could only have been the victim. The man would have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in the winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind. Oh, crap. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I got work to be doing.
No, you can't do that. Your books, yes. Nice shot, that.
The very books? No, not worth a visit.
What?
That wasn't...
What?
It was not clear.
What? When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes.
Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant had then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already.
Oh dear. Even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now. Ugh. Why do you have to run away like that? And how are you supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody else could see? This is impossible. How can I make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue. Yeah, I know. I'll just turn the tide. I gotta make the jurors change their mind. Well, 4 of them at least. We had no choice but to forge forward.
You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination.
Yeah, my lord. I say to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Renosuke, you can do it. Jury examination. The defense's rebuttal.
Hold it!
Okay, press everybody, get some info about them. Excuse me, but aren't you?
Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago.
Yeah, I had a feeling in your face, or the side of it anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you?
That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going smoothly until you started fussing around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute.
Huh?
Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and the young hatter pegged as criminals.
Oh, well, you know, water on the bridge.
Now, there's also the rumors buzzing around when the police have been badgering me nonstop.
Weren't you gambling and stuff?
Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. I'm free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't.
Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I must struggle to change this man's man, given our awkward history. Oh dear. I wonder what's become Mr. First now.
Hold it!
You're right at the time of the incident. But the defendant admits having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly, that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly, that funny little man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit. Let's not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman. Why, of course he does. If he misses stabbing her, his life is over. That man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly. Claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. But if that's the lies you're suggesting, do you think that they would concoct something more credible? Oh, really? I couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little... Oh my god, ma'am. If I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. Yeah. I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could have possibly committed this awful crime. Ugh. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple.
Your argument is compelling in simplicity, I must admit.
Oh my, you're too kind, my lord. Oh, well, for her.
Hold it!
But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Nonsmith could have taken back from your books. Oh, yes, like you drew on the map, you mean? What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yeah, that's true. And at the moment, there is no proof that shows he did. Is there? Well, yeah, that's true. And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Yeah, that's true. Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you want to get home as quickly as possible. Yeah, that's also true. So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road. Also, we can visit you here. I get a lot of thought, you know? I didn't just make up my mind on a whim like he did. I mean, if there's some logical reason why he might have gone to Calabash Roadway, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honestly, I would. Huh, reason why Sasaki said might have taken a longer on. Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'd be able to sway this young man's opinion without one. So the poor woman attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. Okay, I don't know if I can press this, but...
Hold it!
Whatever is the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Garrett, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume's room? Which we said we wouldn't tell anybody, but we did. Oh, master's wife, where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid, you understand? She's keeping up that charade. This is gonna be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you'd been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean.
Well, I was told not to mention to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice. I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he? Oh yes, that's right. He's only been in a little over a week now. And at that time, surely he must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume seem like the kind of man who would do this? Oh my goodness me, yes. He's just the sort. Huh? Spending all his time in that dark and dingy room, sporting that unscrumptious mustache. The man never speaks. And don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All our neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How can people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm, nothing more. Well, you just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I better be careful in buying this maid to speak. She's saying enough damning things already.
Hold it!
A man's life is on the line here, sir. It's gonna take as long as it takes. Don't get clever at me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's. Huh? The likes of you would understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. Well, you don't get paid for jury duty? If I don't work, I don't eat. Neither do life. I mean, I guess it's probably nothing like here. Neither do life and kids. Oh, I see. That must be very hard. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn to dusk, it is. So, you're out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? Were you digging up the road? That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened. By the little bookshop it was. Huh? That's right, Meersham Street it was. Meersham Street? On that, Mr. Hoda, there's only 3 named streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add information to your formal statement, please. What's the point of that? Can we just get this over now? Please, sir, it's important. Fine, I'll do it then. Okay. It was dig up Meersham Street. And... so we're going to hit this. Versus this.
Objection!
Those 2 statements are clearly at odds with one another. At all, counsel? Explain yourself. Ah, please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear. Eh, what? I just want to get this done and dusted. Well, juror number 3? Oh, me, sir. What do you mean? Juror number 5's words just now were extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meersham Street, making it impassable. Which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meersham Street and down Briar Road. Oh yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yeah, you can't argue that really, can you? We almost had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman who came along the road had turned back and looked the other way. People who have this information don't tell me this. So the conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have. I suppose they must have been right, eh? Juror number 3 said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice. Yes. My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may. Yes? I don't think in all good conscience that I can say that the man's guilty now. Yes. I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. That's 1. What about you, sir? Who? Me? Well, alright then. There's a hole in the prosecution's argument. It should be filled in. That's what I always say.
Well done, Mr. Narcoda. That was wonderful.
Well, we managed to change a couple of minds at least, considering their positions somewhat.
Yes, and it would prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. To be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only we could continue to identify just one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting, we might be able to tip the balance completely.
Uh-huh. That's what I gotta do. Van Zieks is looking to bring his trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent by whatever means we have at our disposal. Thank you, counsel. We'll honor the summation examination, please. Yes, my lord. I mean, I just got one person too. You. Why is Bourbon book suck? Sorry. Fold it, you say? Fold what? Oh, well, no. What I was saying was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books that they have in there, yeah. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
And what time do you visit your books on the day in question?
Well, I was picking out books in there after all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
So just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time?
Oh yeah, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after that dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head. It's always worse if the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. Really thought my number was up.
You're wearing an olive coat? Wait, what? Wait, let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road?
That's right. A living corn pipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books.
Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be significant.
I'm sorry. Extremely sick. No, I'm quite alright now.
Okay. I got it. No, Susato. 2 people in green coats fell down, so there's no saying who we saw. And we're gonna pit woman in green with man in green.
Objection!
Those 2 statements are clearly a flaw in the juror's reasoning.
A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel?
Well, juror number 2. Juror number 6.
Oh my, whatever do you mean, sir? I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you.
Really? It's not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact in which we can be sure. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of secondhand titles. Then he returned home on foot.
But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey.
Yeah, that's correct. What he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we're all aware of this. The poor young woman was stabbed, obviously.
Objection!
Can we really be sure of that, madam?
My, whatever do you mean?
I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over in the icy streets near the neighborhood.
Oh my.
My goodness, you mean? Yeah, that's right. I'm referring, of course, to the hard of hearing juror number 6. Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman at the end of the bench here with me today? It's entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. Well, look at that. Oh my goodness me.
Sorry? You need to pee?
And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell.
On Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back from his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly, the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home.
Oh my.
You idiot old man, if you had been so daft out roaming out there, you would have boxed us up long ago.
Oh, really? What were you thinking? You were such a befuddling coat.
What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to swim over the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat? Is it?
My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but...
You'd like to change your leading, I presume?
I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty.
Thanks. I would too.
Huh?
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well...
Thank you, Santa. Sorry.
Well, the summation examination is concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The ayes? Yes, the ayes 2, the noes 4. So the noes have it. Not guilty, they say. Which we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
I was about to do a none the next episode, but thanks, Zeeks. Thanks. Throw it into the fire, please. Or crash it. Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush in disgust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks? It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited those jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by the Eastern entertainer. Eh? Whatever do you mean?
Objection!
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I said is the truth. Indeed. Stalwart juror number 5 is undoubtedly repairing the road as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement of which you excavated, sir. Yeah, that's right. Took me the whole day, but they paid me a measly tuppence for it. Now, my friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? No, not at all. Wait, they also wouldn't use yards here. They would use meters. Yards is American. Actually, I know what 2 yards looks like. I forgot I'm American too. If I'm honest, I don't really have a clue.
2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Eh, me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. You wouldn't have jumped in the icy snow. And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the side of yours? Eh, I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. Oh, wow. Wish I was gonna get you. Or whatever they had back then. No coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway. We just turned back any gentlefolk when they came. Kids just jumped right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in meanderings around town. Ah. Is that true? Is it? The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accuser found the scene. There can be no doubt on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road. Crushed in a single sentence. And, old man. Cold man. Cold man, you can't talk. You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking fellow behind you at the time? Oh, I can't say I remember. You don't remember? How about a wager, my friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw.
I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it.
The whole point is showing the doubt in the statement. There's no proof that he did it either. We don't have fingerprints on the weapon. We don't have a motive. Order! Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself.
My lord.
If you have such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the exhumation examination?
I want to give this young-born student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I want him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed.
But you swayed it first.
But my hospitality has its limits, and they've been reached, I feel.
Oh.
So, my friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over.
What are you talking about?
My lord.
The prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand. Yes, that's what we wanted. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses. Its next witnesses?
Mr. Hoda, do you not remember? You've been told several occasions there were eyewitnesses to the incident.
Yeah, I remember. One of them being Scotland Yard policeman, no less.
I'm afraid that's likely the prosecution's next witness.
Alright. No matter who Van Zeeks brings to the stand as witnesses, and no matter what they say,
I believe in Saseki-san. I know he's innocent, and I'll keep believing to the very end. Until this battle's over.
Oh wait, is it stopping for me and I can save? Okay. The amount of blonde children we've had in every single trial so far. It's a little concerning. Oh, no, oh crap, sorry. I clicked on it. I thought I could escape, but I can't. I guess we have to listen to them for a little bit. No, we don't have to do. Haha, okay. Alright, so that's it for today's episode. I'll see you guys later this week. Laters.